Alright, welcome back. V.O.C. YouTube channel. No distractions. I love making these videos so much that I'm going to, a little announcement here. This is how my brain works. Should have said announcement first. Now I'm going back into, but no. I'm going to start making videos on Mondays now too. I'm going to call it Miscellaneous Mondays, where I'm going to talk about everything else that's happening in sports. That's not football related because, look, I love football, but other things that are happening in sports. You have baseball playoffs, you have NHL's coming back, and then I think this next Monday, my biggest, the biggest emphasis I'm going to have for that Miscellaneous Monday is the NBA preview, because it starts next Tuesday. So, there's a lot happening right now in sports, and it's not just football. So, look, I love sports any way that it's, any shape or form that it's in. So, I'm going to start expanding, talk about a little bit more than just football. But so I'll do Miscellaneous Mondays, and I'll still do the NFL videos on Tuesdays, still do these college football videos on Thursdays, and then we'll kind of see where it goes from there. Alright, let's get into it now. College football, I think there's a lot of stuff that is continuing to happen. I don't think we fully grasp our heads around it, because there's so much shit that's happening right now. It is so crazy. So much is going on that, we don't know half the time what the hell is going on. I don't know what the hell's happening going most of the time. That's just how my life, that should be the memoir of my book. I don't know what the hell's going on, because I fucking don't. But I think we jump into, and you'll see from the title of this video is kind of what I'll talk about last, but there's a lot going on in one conference in particular. I think it's going to get real crazy, and we'll talk about that last. But opening up, Clemson comes back and beats Texas. Look, I thought Texas was going to win. I said Texas was going to win. Texas looked like they were going to win. They were dominating Oklahoma. Oklahoma sucked. Spencer Rattler, garbage. 2 thumbs down, garbage. That guy is literal trash. I would put him in a waste management bin right now, and I'd chip him away if I was Oklahoma. Because that guy, garbage. He might be the most overhyped college quarterback ever. Ever. Think about it. Think about all the years of college football, all these quarterbacks overhyped. He might be the most overhyped quarterback we've ever seen. That guy is literal garbage. I can't say it enough. He's so terrible that if they didn't change their quarterbacks, they would have fucking got destroyed. Texas would have fucking curb stomped their little bitch asses. And Sark, we'd be talking about Sark this week. This guy is, a great coach. Sark is a great coach, but we'd look at him and go, he knocked off Lincoln Riley the first time he's ever played. Didn't happen, because Lincoln Riley smarted up and goes, look, we benched Spencer Rattler last year because he's garbage in the same game. We're going to bench him again because he's garbage. And they said, we're going to put in this freshman. This freshman, 2 thumbs up. Spencer Rattler, 2 thumbs down. Caleb Williams, freshman, 2 thumbs up. Spencer Rattler, Williams. This kid is electric. This kid came in. It was 4th and 1. Fucking 50-yarder. Like it was fucking nothing. Beast. A fucking beast. This kid is a fucking tank. This kid could be the best Oklahoma quarterback Lincoln Riley's had. He's had some pretty good ones. This kid can do, I think he can do everything. He fucking threw a ball that there's maybe 1 or 2 other players in all of football that could make that throw, and I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes, and maybe Aaron Rodgers could make the throw. He fucking spun around and then just fucking chucked it up and said, you know what, Texas? Horns down, fuck you. I'm scoring this touchdown. Beautiful fucking pass, and it worked. It worked. They scored a touchdown. They beat him. As soon as he got in the game and started playing, they ripped the soul right out of Texas, and they said, you know what? You're done. You are done, boys. You're done. Horns down. Our garbage quarterback is not in. We have a good quarterback. And I think moving forward, if you're Oklahoma, you got to start Caleb Williams. You cannot go back to Spencer Rattler, because Spencer Rattler is garbage. You cannot continue to go on down this loop of well, he played good this second half. Won us the game, but Spencer Rattler's done. What the fuck has Spencer Rattler done for you? Explain that to me. What the fuck has Spencer Rattler done in Oklahoma uniform? Oh my God, he fucking got benched versus Texas. Texas sucked, had a terrible coaching staff last year. Comes back in the game, he wins it. He wins you a Big 12 championship, the worst fucking conference in football. What has he done? Nothing. He's done nothing. So why not just give the freshman a shot? Lincoln Riley, he closed practice to the media yesterday. This just might be the funniest shit ever. He closed practice to the media because of the quarterback situation. And then some kids that are student reporters at Oklahoma, this is fucking genius, went to a public building on campus where they're allowed to go to, got up where they were high enough to watch practice, and they were counting snaps of who got more snaps than the other ones. The funniest shit. It's the most creative shit. This is great journalism. That is great journalism, what they did. They counted Caleb Williams had more snaps. He's getting more majority of the snaps. Lincoln Riley got so pissed off. Closed it. Got all pissy. What the fuck? What the hell? Quit being a little bitch and start the right quarterback, Lincoln. Christ, you're supposed to be this quarterback guru. Fucking be it. Don't start someone that is garbage. Fucking Spencer Rattler. He probably transfers. And if I'm Spencer Rattler, I transfer, I get the fuck out. But then I also look at myself and go, I ain't very fucking good. Not as good as I thought I was. It happens. Some of these kids we think are going to be fucking God, and they're just not very good. It doesn't matter. It just happens. Spencer Rattler's looking like that guy where it's happened. Maybe he's peaked. He's not as good. Maybe coaching, where he's getting at Oklahoma is not what he needs. He needs something a little different. I don't know, but if Oklahoma continues to Spencer Rattler, I don't get it. It won't win them anything. Caleb Williams has a chance to have them win something. And I'm not saying they're the best fucking team ever with Caleb Williams, but they just seem better. They have a better aura around them. And it felt like when he was on the field, Texas couldn't stop him. And in the Big 12, if you can't stop a quarterback, you're fucked. You're going to win a lot of games, too. So, I think this season we're talking more about quarterback situations because I think there's a lot of guys that we think are good quarterbacks or we think should be good quarterbacks. Notre Dame, Jack Cohen, garbage. But they're not. And for some reason, some of these coaches, Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley, stick to these guys who fucking suck for some reason. I don't get it. Quit jerking them off in the fucking locker room and fucking make the right decision. Christ. Fuck. Moving on to Alabama now. They lose their first game of the year. I mean, I thought it was a surprise that they lost to Texas A&M because I didn't think Texas A&M was very good. They'd lost 2 games in a row coming into this. Snaps Saban's 100 straight wins against unranked opponents, and it snaps his. This is the more important one. He was 24-0 against his former assistants. That's a big stat now because I think now you have a lot of guys who's like, wait and see who's the first guy that's going to beat Saban, and now it could be a domino effect of now there's a bunch of assistants start beating. I don't know. Texas A&M was just a better team that day and beat them, and they did the little things right. They had a punt block. Alabama had a punt block, got them close in the game, and then Texas A&M fucking scores a return touchdown again. It was like they just did not allow Alabama to get in the game. Now, Alabama, very well, they could have won, but they just wasn't there that night. Their defense is not as good as it has been in years past. I think the stat is this is the first time under Saban since his first year that they have allowed more than 20 points a game on defense. That's bad because, Saban's a great coach, but I don't trust Bill O'Brien to win you a shootout. I think Bill O'Brien's not a good coach, but, so as an offensive coordinator, are we going to let that guy make decisions? I mean, there's just a lot of things that go on, and I think they'll win out. And now the question with Alabama is, you should win out, but then are you as good as Georgia? I don't think so. That's going to move into my other thing. Now to the next thing. I said the first time I did this show, Georgia's number 1 team in the country. I look like a fucking genius. I know. Don't gotta praise me. Don't have to get on your knees. Don't bow to me. Please don't kiss my feet. Please don't. I understand how good I am up here mentally. I'm a different breed. Big brain genius right here. But Georgia is doing this now the last few weeks with their fucking backup quarterback. A kid that fucking couldn't play last year. Stetson Bennett. This kid's garbage. But somehow they're winning games because of that fucking good. Maybe the best. I said this last week. They might be the best fucking defensive team we've ever fucking seen. This team is crazy. NFL guys everywhere. I don't know if there's a fucking team that can beat them. I don't know. The fun thing with Georgia, they played number 11 Kentucky this week. They'll fucking roll 'em. Kentucky's undefeated, but they'll roll 'em. I think they're 17.5-point favorites. Might be more. Let me check that. I'll continue to talk. I can multitask. Georgia is that much better than everybody else that it is nuts. They are 22.5-point favorites. I think they'll win by at least 14. They'll score 40. Fuck, they probably won't even... Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. They'll score 40. They'll win by more than 14. Fuck, they might win... They'll win by 21. They are that good. And when I talked about the importance of the 24-0 against Saban and his former assistants, Kirby Smart was a former assistant, couldn't beat Saban. I think always got the yips when he played Saban. Now that aura is gone, I think this is the year that Kirby beats Saban. And I think Georgia, we are looking at a team that is far and above everybody else. We just are. Georgia is that good. It is crazy how good they are. And when their quarterback is healthy, they're playing a good quarterback that can win them games, throw the ball around, but then they can also still run. It's like, what can't Georgia do? What can't they do? I don't know. That's so it's like, I hate to beat a dead drum every week on when it comes to the college football show here on Thursdays, but Georgia is just that much better than everybody else. And they just are. They just are. I mean, I don't want to crown them the national champions right now because the season doesn't finish here, but I mean, we're on a collision course where they're going to be raising that gold motherfucker at the end of the year. So moving to the Big Ten. Big Ten country. I'm a Big Ten man. I just am. That's just what I am. I grew up in the Midwest, still live in the Midwest, go to a Big Ten school. It's in my blood. I fucking eat, breathe, sleep, sniff Big Ten. Big Ten, this is going to be the funnest conference to watch. We talked about this earlier. Title of the video is going to be something that is going to get a lot of fans happy, a lot of Michigan fans. They're going to get excited. But right now, we had Penn State, Iowa. Penn State doesn't lose their quarterback. They beat Iowa by 10 points, maybe 14. But Iowa won. Give them credit. But unless the quarterback doesn't get changed, Penn State wins that game. We're talking about how good is Penn State. So that's that for the first part of it. Now you move on. Iowa's up to 2. Iowa's good. Their defense is really good. Their offense fucking sucks. Their offense, this is like what Georgia was all those other years. Like a good defense, no quarterback, and they run the ball. Their offense, garbage. They fucking strung some good drives together there at the end. They had some momentum. Penn State lost it. They didn't have their quarterback. And they beat them. But they beat them. Granted, they did. So now you have 5 teams in the Big Ten that are ranked in the top 10. That's a tongue twister. 5 teams in the Big Ten ranked in the top 10. Genius. I can say it. Penn State's now 7. Michigan's 8. Ohio State's 6. I don't know why you didn't go in order. And Michigan State's 10. The last 4 teams, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, MSU, they're all going to play each other these last half of the year. Michigan and Penn State, Michigan and Michigan State play in 2 weeks. That's the first domino to fall. And then it gets fucking hell crazy, batshit fucking stupid. Zombies are coming out. We're getting lasers pointed on our faces. We think people are going to shoot us or not. The world's going to end because this thing's going to get fun. Strap into your fucking roller coaster chair and get ready. Because this shit is fucking nuts. Iowa should win out on their side. Iowa has no competition over on their side. No, is that the West? How do they split up these divisions? I don't know. I think it's the West. And the East is fucking murder's row. Like, the East is like, you're playing the fucking 27 Yankees every day. Like, it is going to be nuts. Ohio State has looked much better. But I think if you look at the rankings, there's no reason Ohio State should be ranked to Penn State because they very easily could have beat Iowa. There's no reason that they're ranked ahead of Michigan or Michigan State. They're both undefeated. They both looked really good. Nebraska's a lot better than their record shows. So Michigan barely beating them. Not that big of a deal. And they went to Nebraska. Now the big question is, this is the title of the video, can Michigan win the Big Ten? Can they? I hope not. I hate them. I hate those fucking pussy Wolverines. I hate them. I'd rather cut my dick off than see Michigan win a fucking Big Ten championship. But it could happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think can't believe I just said that on TV. That's right. I don't give up. I say what I want. Do whatever the fuck I want. You should have seen that last video. Go check out the last video. Christ. I think that Michigan probably loses I want to say 2 games. I think they lose 2 games down the stretch. MSU's a push. It's a toss-up right now. I don't know about that game. I'll have to wait till that week till I make that decision. Still 2 weeks. A lot of shit still has to happen. But I don't think Michigan's can beat Penn State with their quarterback, and I don't think that they can still beat Ohio State. I think it's with Ohio State, it's just their offense is extremely well, and the defense is they have enough athletes where they can still make plays on defense. They might not be the best at it, but they can still make plays. Throat's getting a little dry. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's just like that's just what I feel. It's not because I hate Michigan. I think Michigan has a really good team this year. I really like Harbaugh. But I think that something's going to come back to bite them in the ass. They have a quarterback situation of their own, too, that it's like, you know, could McNamara start playing bad and they play their freshman? You know, so you never know. Like, so much shit is still to play out, but any one of these 4 teams could win it. They could. I mean, crazier shit has happened. But when you have 4 teams like this that are so good in one division, it's fucking nuts. And it's fun for us, the fan, because we just watch. We don't have to practice for it. We don't have to game plan for it. We just sit down on our TVs, our beers, with our cigars, whatever you want, and you watch the game. So I think it's going to be fun to play out. I think it's maybe the most exciting season in Big Ten history, potentially. It could end up being, and I think as these dominoes start to fall, the one domino was last weekend, and I think now it's starting to shape out. And when these 4 teams play, it's going to get wilder. You know, Michigan State's had a great year. Nobody thought they'd be here. I didn't think they'd be here. I did. They won 2 games last year. They're really good this year. You know, but now they have to play Murderers Row as well. So do they win? You know, do they just lose these last 3 games against these really good teams? Don't know. Michigan, they've had a really good year. Stay here, paper. You know, so I think it's like, you know, do they lose their last 3 games against the Murderers Row team? I don't know. Penn State, do they now crumble now that they've lost to Iowa and maybe their quarterback can't play ever, or the James Franklin to USC stuff gets hotter? You know, that stuff has kind of died down a little bit, but it could always ramp up. They'd lose a couple games in a row. Ohio State, you know, do they slip up and lose to one of these teams when they're supposed to win or when everybody thinks they're going to win? I don't know. Like I said, right now, I think on the West, if that's what you call it in the Big Ten, Iowa is that team. Iowa is like that girl at the prom that knows she's going to win already. Like, she walks in, yep, I already got it. Give me my crown. That's how Iowa is on the other side. The fucking East, that is like the goofy-looking motherfucker that, like, just shows up and he's like, well, I'll never win this, and who knows if I'll ever win it. That's how this is. It is going to be fun to watch. A lot more is starting to happen. This week is kind of slow because you have a lot of big games next week. But I think, you know, you're starting to shape up, and like I said, any 4 of these teams could win the Big Ten easily. I think a winner from this East side, if that's what you call it, side of the Big Ten, whoever gets out of this Murderers Row, I think wins the Big Ten. And if you win it, they're going to be in the playoff. And, you know, I think we see the first ranking November 2nd. So, you know, there's a lot to play in with that one, too, because, you know, I think there's a lot of teams that I don't think a lot of people thought could be in these situations, and they're in these situations. So that's going to be fun to watch. I think that's November 2nd, so 2-3 weeks away from seeing that. And that will really start to see what the committee thinks about all these teams and how we should start viewing these teams and not. But that's going to do it for this episode on College Football Thursday here on the V.O.C. YouTube channel. Like I said, miscellaneous Mondays is where I'm going to be talking about other sports. I'll be doing an NBA breakdown a little bit, preview, see my thoughts, what I'm thinking about that, because I think there's a lot of stuff happening in the NBA too that's crazy. And after seeing who won the title last year in the Bucks when nobody thought they'd win it, you know what happens now. So I think it's going to be fun. That'll be coming out Monday. Thanks for watching all the videos. Loving the support. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. This couldn't be done without you guys watching, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.